XPOR is a service that non-technical people can use to build and manage their own web-based software applications and systems. You can build whatever you want with it, not just the straightforward content managed website. And to demonstrate this, I have picked on something that most people can relate to, a job application system, which I'm going to build in a few minutes. It's a simple example, which should demonstrate just how easy it is to use XPOR and how powerful it is. So first, and most importantly, let's think about the job application process and sketch it out. Now I've already sketched this out, so it saved a few minutes here. Here we can see basically you have a parent company, department that sits underneath the company, job roles in that department, and job applications for those job roles. The parent company we would term an object type. The department we would refer to as an object type, and the job role, again, an object type. Objects, which I haven't described here, have properties. I haven't described them here because I'm not really interested in them at the moment, but the job role I am interested in. So when I sketch it out, or when you sketch it out, you'll be thinking, okay, this job role will have a job status. Obviously it's vacant, it's advertised, or it's filled, or whatever. It will have a vacancy type, it's a full-time, part-time, whatever type of job. It'll have a salary, assumedly, and a salary type, monthly, weekly, and other what we term properties. So that's the properties for the job role. And when we make an application for that job role, again, this object type will have its own properties. The application will have a status, it'll be assessed in due course, and so on and so forth. So there we have the object model, the system model. Parent company, whose properties I haven't shown, and department, whose properties I haven't shown, the job role, which I sketched out with all of its properties, and the job application. And let's not forget the guys who are going to apply for the job. So that's another object type, the contact, and in fact the same type of object is the line manager for the department, who's the guy who's going to be assessing the job applications. Okay. As I said, this is about 70% of the way there to doing. This is where all the brains is, which will be your brains. Then we enable you with XPOR to create this. So after that, it's just a little bit of fun. Okay, so I'm going to advertise these jobs on my website. And this is one website which is built in this XPOR installation. There are several. And I'm going to advertise jobs on this thing. Okay, so if I have a look at this thing, as I said, it's an XPOR installation. This is the back end of that installation. So I've not seen the back end of these things yet. This is probably your first introduction. But okay, lots of object types, and just try and memorize some of these icons because we'll see them again in a second. So some of the object types we already had set up, but the ones we didn't have set up were the job application and the job role. So I'm going to have to make those. And I make those with a tool that you get as part of your license in XPOR. It's called System Modeler, and this is it. So I'm looking now at, remember these icons a second ago? These are the object types that you've got, which you can use on the website. What we don't have is the job role and job application. So I have to make those. Here we go. So we'll just give it a title and a description, which I'm not going to give. We can categorize it, which is basically just shoving it under a heading. So I'm going to stick it under there, and we can give it a color so that the icons will have a certain color, and give it an icon as well. So let's give it an icon. There's a whole bunch of icons here that we can pick from, and let's just pick I don't know, how about that? And there's a bunch of other settings that we can set here, but I'm not interested in those at the moment. So I'll just click apply, and that object type is now made and can be used in the back end of the XPOR website. However, we haven't yet added the properties. Remember, the properties that we described in our model were the role status, the vacancy type, and so on and so forth. So what I do here is just simply add these in. So I would insert this, run through a little wizard, and that will let me give the name, so job vacancy status or whatever, and select the type and continue on my merry way like that. So in true Blue Peter fashion, I've already made one of these things actually. So we'll shut him down, and let's go and find what I actually made. So there it is. gave it a different icon and a different color at that time. So there we go. He's the completed version. I actually gave him a description so I could understand him. And there are all the properties which tie up with the properties that we had over here on our sketched model. And all I did was add them, and away we went. If you also remember as well, on the model we had a parent-child association between these things. So the job role has a parent of department and a child of job application. So if I look at the association model and look at the parents, there we go. So the job role has a parent of department, and if I look at its children, it has a child of job application together with that employment document, the CVs and so on. Okay, dead simple. So all that's done is describe this, and in not too difficult a fashion. And this beast now is ready to use, except for it doesn't have anything to fill in. Remember, we put these properties here. We hadn't created the interface. Now I have created the interface here, and all I would do is hit one of these buttons and that gets made for me. But I do have the ability to customize it with a whole bunch of tools down here, so I don't have to have the standard interfaces, which is useful on occasions. Okay, so there we go, we're finished. We've made that, and now all we have to do is make our job roles under our departments in our company. So if we open the company up and have a look at departments, I've already made these as well, and then look under, I don't know, the development department, and there's some job roles already made, and we're good to go. So if this job role is at a certain status, we will want it to advertise on the front of the website, and the status would be open for advertisement or advertised. So let's have a look at this guy. Okay, so this guy is, there you go, he's advertised. Now this form here was the form that we made, and we didn't make, I'd already made on this interface here. Okay, so it's a dead match for that. That's exactly what it is. Effectively, these things are templates for these things. Once you've made the template, you can make as many of these as you want, and set the statuses and change the properties however you feel appropriate. And this is currently advertised, so he should appear on the front of the site. Well, he would appear on the front of the site if I had a form to put him on the front of the site. So I need to make that form. I make that form in Object Modeler as well. So let's just get these beasts out of the way. And if we have a look under the Forms Manager, you'll not be surprised to hear I've already made one. So here we go. Okay, so there's a couple there. Let's just go for job actually. Yep, open job vacancies. So this is the form which will be on the front of the site, and it's a grid form. It's got a few columns in it, and there we go. Right, so I'm going to stick him on the front of the site. This is the page that we've put this form on. And there we go. Okay. Now to make my application, I have to log in. So if we click on that, it's going to tell me that. But do you notice I just double clicked on something and something happened? Again, then let's go back to our modeler and close that out. So this is that form which we were looking at on the front of the site. Those were the columns. Let's open him up again, and the apply one has a function on it. Okay, so you can add in your own clicky things to do things. That one will actually open up a form if we've logged in. So if I log in, without sausage fingers, okay, it's logged in and recognised me. I'm actually a super admin, so I got these fancy buttons up here as well. But I'm going to, as super admin, consider applying for, I don't know, the accounts position. So there you go. The double click has now done something. It's opened up another form. That form was configured on Object Modeler there. Okay, so in virtually no time, admittedly I haven't made some of these forms whilst we're online, but it's been a very short video effectively, we have got a full job application management system up and running, and these things will automatically change as we change the statuses on these jobs. They will appear or disappear. People can apply for them. Those applications will trigger notifications, which I haven't explained here, but on all the stuff you'd expect. So there you go, XPOR. As I said, I'm not a developer, yet I've made all of this, and there's no reason why you can't. If you do have some development skills, there are a few bits and bobs in there which will interest you, but it is primarily aimed at non-technical people, so that you can make systems such as this and much more complicated.